Hey VC, what's going on? Welcome back. This is Hubtunes. I am Mike, and we're off kilter here. Hey, what's going on? Welcome back. Thank you for tuning in. That was the amazing Daniel Villereal from his album Panama 77. So this is going to be a concert review. I feel like I have not done one of these in a very long time. I think I go through like periods where I see a lot of shows and then I don't see any. This is my first concert review of 2023, and for you people who have followed me in this channel, I saw a lot of concerts last year. I think I saw 19 concerts in 2022. My last review, it's been a while. I mean, we're in February already, and this is the first concert I've seen. I think my last concert review was the Lemonheads with Juliana Hatfield opening, and that was a great show. So a little history for people who are new to the channel. I started this channel in the middle of the pandemic, where I couldn't go to work. I couldn't go to bars. I couldn't go to music venues. I couldn't see live music. And it tore me up. I mean, it was a really rough time, and not being able to go see live music. I'm 55 years old. I went to my first concert in 1981, I think it was. I saw the Rolling Stones on that Tattoo You tour, the big one with the bright colors, and they ended up doing, they recorded Still Life, I think was the live album that came off of that tour. I went with my father. We had to cut out a coupon in the back of the Chicago Tribune and then fill it out and then send a SAISY and a money order to get put into the lottery to get tickets. This was a thing back in the 80s for big bands. I also did the same thing for the Rolling Stones, for the Who. I did it for the Stones and the Who. And I saw both on their respective tours. This would have been, I think it was the Tattoo You tour. It was Still Life. It became the live album of it. I also saw the Who. We did the exact same thing. Fill out you had to get the Sunday Tribune in Chicago and fill out, it might have been the Sun-Times. I'm not going to diss the Tribune or the Sun-Times. And you had to fill out the little coupon in the back, cut it out, put it in an envelope with a self-addressed stamped envelope and a money order to cover the tickets and the shipping and all the postage and everything. And then you had to mail it in to get put into a lottery to get a ticket for the show. It was crazy. It was absolutely crazy. I did that for the Who, which would have been the It's Hard tour, bad album, good tour though. Kenny Jones still on drums. That was a good tour. And I was also a kid. I was probably 15, maybe 14. Great show. So anyway, I've seen a lot of concerts in my 55 years on this earth. I love, get rid of that. I love live music. I saw the Grateful Dead 50 times. My 50th show was at Soldier Field on Jerry Garcia's final show. I've seen Wilco probably 30 times. I've seen Santana at least, probably 20 times. I've seen so many. I saw Frank Sinatra. I've seen so many concerts. It's just like all of you out there. I mean, people who love music see a lot of live music. I have friends who don't go to concerts. Like, I have friends who literally have not been to a concert in their entire lives. I have friends that haven't been to concerts in 20 years. I love live music. I love the vibe. I love the feel. I love the community. I go to a lot of concerts alone. I don't mind going to concerts alone. I honestly prefer it. I love talking to strangers and hanging out and enjoying the music and feeling the vibe. That's what I absolutely love. So this is my first concert review of 2023. I got to see this amazing jazz rock drummer, Daniel Villereal. He is from Chicago. He is from the Pilsen neighborhood, I believe. And he is on the International Anthem label. He is absolutely fantastic. This label is spectacular. Not every album they release is for everybody. It's a very eclectic label. Not every album is like this. They do a lot of rap. They do a lot of world music. They do a lot of spacey weird music. They do a lot of electronic. They do a lot of international stuff. It's a wonderful, wonderful label. But like I said, not everything is for everybody. This is a very accessible album. It is straightforward jazz rock, Latino tinged. I originally saw this guy last year, and you can go into the playlist. Just go into playlists on my channel, and it's concert reviews. And I have every concert review that I've done listed. I saw him for an album release party for this record. I didn't know, when I went to see him back in August of last year, I didn't know who he was. He was the opener, and it was his album release party, but it was also an album release party for this amazing band called Anteloper. This is Pink Dolphins, which I'm guessing is going to be their final album. I love this record. This is an electronic jazz record. Great beats, just a wonderful, wonderful record. It's a modern jazz record. A lot of trumpet, but also great beats, great drumming, but also a little electronic, like kicked in. And it is, I believe it's also produced by Jeff Parker. It is. Jeff Parker plays bass and guitar on here. The amazing Jeff Parker from the band Tortoise, who I've talked about on this channel many times. So it was an album release party for this record. I'm going to talk about the star of this record in a few minutes. So I went to this show, and this was back in August. It was an album release party for both these records, and I didn't know what to expect. And what my favorite part of live music and seeing shows is going to see something that you're a little nervous about. You don't know what to expect. You don't know what it's going to be like. Mostly that's why I go to shows alone, because those are the kind of shows I like to go to. I don't like to go to concerts where it's going to be the same set list that they did in Detroit the night before. I don't want to hear a greatest hits concert. That's where I am in my life. Did I like that when I was 21, 22, 30? Yes, absolutely. At this point in my life, I want to be stimulated and walk out of the place going, wow. And I suppose you can get that from a greatest hits concert, but that's not for me. It's not for me. And when I went to this show back in August, I didn't know what to expect. It was something that I would never have dreamt about going to see modern day electronic jazz. That's just not something I would have done. And I discovered this album, and I said, I have to be part of this. I wanted to know what was going on, and I was surprised. It was not what I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be a larger band. Turns out it was just two people, one playing drums and doing stuff on like a keyboard, computer kind of thing. But the amazing thing about this was the trumpet player and basically the leader of this band, Jamie Branch. She is absolutely one of jazz's modern day geniuses, and we unfortunately lost her right after this concert. I think this probably was her last concert. Maybe she did one or two, but she passed away right after the show. Pink vinyl for all you colored vinyl people. So this guy opened for her, and this is Daniel Villereal. I'll get on to the concert that I actually saw just a few nights ago. So that's the setup. That's how I discovered this guy. I went to see him at Space up in Evanston. It's a wonderful, wonderful venue. It probably holds about, I'm going to say 250, maybe 200. It's a small room. Sometimes they have tables. Sometimes they don't. I've seen a lot of shows there. I've seen Juliana Hatfield there. I've seen the Delvon Lamar Trio there several times. I've seen Pat Martino there. And so sometimes they have tables where you can reserve tables, and those, of course, cost more money. Sometimes they don't have any tables. It's just general admission. It's a wonderful venue. It's very small. They have solid cocktails. The bartenders there are great. My partner actually just got a job there. So I'm not promoting the place. I have no stake in this whatsoever. But it is a wonderful, wonderful venue. In the summer, they do really, really good outdoor events, on a golf course nearby. They sponsor it all. It top-notch, really, really good place. So when I saw that Daniel Villereal was playing there, I said I absolutely have to go see him, because I had such a great time when he was opening for Anteloper. So I go, and it's standing room only, completely sold out. Obviously, it's 200 people. I always get standing room only because I don't like to sit. I get antsy, and I don't like to be in the crowd and getting antsy. So I get standing room only. It's not like it's literally like standing room is like 75 feet from the stage. So it's not like you're really far away. So I go, and it's there's no opening act. It was a Thursday night. He comes on at 7:30, which is a really good start time for us old people. We are literally done by 9:30. I was home in bed by 9:30. This is gonna be a quick review. If you want to see my other review of him, it's not a quick review. It's already 13 minutes. So anyway, he comes out, and it's a 4-piece. He does not have a horn section. Little disappointing. He had a horn section when I saw him the first time, and it was great. This time it was more keyboards and guitar oriented. He is a drummer. He's a jazz drummer. He's obviously out in front, out in the center. But his keyboardist really took over this show. Really good, loud, pounding keyboards. Really soulful. He has the whole band has a very Latino sound. Just a jazz Latino rock. I think in my first video I said very Santana sounding, but that was because they had the horn section, and I think he had a conga guy also on this show, but it didn't have that same vibe of like when I saw him the first time. It had a big feel, like he filled the room with that horn section, and I remember saying to myself, and I think I mentioned this in the first video, is that the guitarist was great. The band had a Santana feel, but the guitarist is no Santana. Well, and I felt bad. After I put that in the video, I felt bad because I was like, well, that makes it sound like he sucks. He didn't suck. He's just no Carlos Santana. Nobody is. Carlos Santana is the most versatile, amazing guitarist living right now. He is by far my favorite guitarist. This guy really, really stepped it up at this show. And maybe it's because there wasn't a horn section, so there was more space for him to fill. And I kind of felt that way about the keyboardist too. Because there was no horn section, there was so much more for these guys to do and fill. And I really, really was impressed with the guitarist in the band. I'm not going to guess his name. I probably should have found his name. He was great. He was really, really good. He was much better this time seeing him than he was the first time. All in all, I'll probably wrap this up because it's already 16 minutes of me rambling. He did do a tribute. He brought up, I'll mention this and then we're out of here. Daniel did mention that the last time he was in Chicago playing, that he talked about the show at Thalia Hall with Jamie Branch, and he was very emotional. He pretty much broke down on stage about how much he respected Jamie Branch and Anteloper, and what an honor it was for him to open for them and share the album release party. It was a pretty moving moment, and he actually played a song from this album. He played Theme 001 from Jamie Branch's album Fly or Die. Terrific album. I actually prefer Fly or Die 2, but this is a gorgeous record, and he played that song as a tribute to Jamie Branch, and it was pretty emotional. You could tell he was pretty choked up about the whole thing. But man, just an absolutely terrific musician, and I highly recommend you guys pick this record up. It is a jam. It is a fun party record. It's not earth-shattering. It's not like going to change music, but it's a solid jazz rock album with Latino vibes, and he's a really good dude, and I can't wait for his next release, and I cannot wait to see him again in concert. I'm tired. I feel like I feel like I spewed a lot of words out of my mouth in the last 17 minutes. So this is the first of my concert reviews for 2023. I have another one coming up. We got two. Actually, next week I am going to see two bands, one on Friday night and one on Saturday night. I am going to see, Friday night, I'm going to see the Viagra Boys at a very brand new concert venue here in Chicago. I have not been to it yet. It's called the Salt Shed. It is the old Morton Salt building, which they've gutted and made into a concert venue. So it's got an outdoor feel, but it's indoors, and I don't know. I've never been. I've heard great reviews. So I'm going to go see the Viagra Boys. If you have not checked out their new album, Cold Cave, it is fantastic and impossible to find on vinyl right now. It is sold out everywhere. And then on Saturday night, I'm going to see Remain in Light, which is Adrian Belew and Jerry Harrison from the Talking Heads. Adrian Belew is not from the Talking Heads. Jerry Harrison is from the Talking Heads. And that should be really, really interesting. I'm hearing very good reviews of that, too. They are playing the entire album, Talking Heads album of Remain in Light, which is my favorite Talking Heads record, and they also do a few other songs. I think they do a couple other Talking Heads songs, and then maybe some Adrian Belew stuff. I'm not sure, but I'm hearing really good reviews, and it's at the Vic Theater here in Chicago, which great place to see a show. Absolutely one of the best places in Chicago to see a concert. The sound is phenomenal, and that should be a really interesting show. So those are two concert reviews coming up. I got a couple others. I'm going to see Eels in June. I'm going to see Gary Newman just announced a show for May, but he's an opener for some reason. Yeah, I got some stuff lined up. So we got some concerts coming. Probably not going to be as many as last year. I can't afford it. I got too many records to buy. So you guys stay well. Questions, comments, snide remarks down below. I love you guys. Bye.